If you got tattoos, if you love Korea, and you're hoping one day you'll meet your Hongdae oppa in Korea, ramen 먹고 갈래? And you want to visit Korea, then you gotta watch this video. I call myself the bad Korean teacher because I talk about things not in textbooks. I want to educate y'all to expand your mind. And in this case, I want to talk about tattoos, how Koreans view tattoos, and who's better yet to talk about this than me, who eventually wanted to cover my whole body with tattoos. But check out my Korean tattoo real quick. I love this tattoo. And as always, don't mind me eating some lunch. Tattoos are not illegal per se, but in order to give tattoos, you gotta have a license. And in order to have that license, you gotta be a medical professional. So being a tattoo artist is considered more underground in Korea. Having tattoos traditionally, historically in Korea, was associated with gangsters or anybody who was like imprinted for being a bad person. That being said, it depends on who you're talking to. Korean people are very different depending on the age ranges. So a lot of the older folks who still hold on to traditionalism, a lot of them will judge you for having a tattoo, especially if you're Korean, especially if you're Asian, and especially if you're a woman. If you're a lady and you got tattoos, then you're seen more as like someone who sleeps around or goes around more if you got tattoos. So just keep that in mind. Now, that does not mean everyone's going to judge you, especially the younger crowd, 20s and 30s. They most likely don't care. They think it's cool. But there's a certain style in Korean tattooing that is more appealing than, let's say, American traditionalism tattoos. Koreans generally value minimalistic designs, and that goes into like home decor, clothing, outfits, and in this case, tattoos. If you did want to get a tattoo in Korea, you gotta find like good connections or like cacao groups. It's very like hush and shady, and because of the laws, it almost makes tattooing shady, even though it's not supposed to be. Most of the time, they're not gonna say in bright neon signs, tattoo parlor, come in here. Hell no. Sometimes the cops crack down on them, and sometimes the actual tattoo parlors are legitimately shady, so as you can see, this makes things a lot confusing for people who want a tattoo. I want to fill out my bag with cool Korean themed tattoos, so why don't you get a Korean tattoo in the meantime? Shout out to that follower who one time got a tattoo of my initials on their body. That was wild.